SK have found success over the Renegades in what was an actual drag-out fight. You know, I told you guys it was going to be a pound-for-pound good fight, but ultimately, that's right. Go ahead, take it away.
You know, you definitely were. And for the longest time, it looked really, really dicey for SK as well. I mean, we have to consider the fact that if they were to drop both maps versus Renegades, that would have been an open road for Rogue and potentially Luminosity to actually claim that playoff spot. They were down, what, 15-11 at one point after having a excellent first half. So, yeah, SK not necessarily giving us a lot of answers to the questions we've posed in the pregame, but they are battling for it.
Transpiring going forward. Of course, we do solidify the teams here for North America, and we can actually take a look at who will be joining those top 5 teams.
Yeah, so with what we have right now, Luminosity lost their first map versus Energy. That means they're out of contention for Dallas, and it's all down to SK and Rogue.
Well, and according to this this standing, you know, we need to see SK dragging 2 points, because if they only drag 1 point and Rogue win, we can see in the round difference just before that Rogue would actually win that one. And internally as well, Rogue got a fight win against SK, which means they won 16-0 in that sense. So they're winning on both parameters right there. So I do believe SK actually do need 2 points. So an OT win on a regular win would be needed. So interesting.
An interesting way to at least end the season off. Of course, a very high stakes thing that we're doing there, but these are the results for match day 21. These are the numbers from around the league. You can see that we did just go the distance here with SK topping Renegades, but I mean, just looking around the league, God, it's rough on there for LG.
It's a lot of messy results as well. Not just Energy, who got their playoffs hopes pretty shattered by Energy, but Splice just dominating Cloud9 here. Cloud9, obviously they're already set for Dallas, but you could imagine that they would have liked it a little bit better than that. They still have 1 map to go, but so far, impressive stuff from Splice, or disappointing stuff from Cloud9, depending on how you look at it.
I'd go with the disappointing for Cloud9.
Yeah, I would say I'm very, very disappointed in all of you. No, I'm kidding. It happens. This is Counter-Strike, and anything is possible. That is exactly the momentum I'm going to run with. But we do have one more map on our hands. It's going to be SK and Renegade squaring off on Cash. And that will be the decider here if SK go to LAN or if they just don't go to LAN. It's that simple.
That's it.
Make
One
it
of
that
the
easy.
two, yeah.
Oh, but speaking of LAN, perhaps you go over to proleague.com/Dallas and see exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Grab your tickets while you're at it, because that's the only surefire way into the door. Almost as surefire way as it is to get into the ESL Pro League. Like the Mountain Dew League. No, Mountain Dew League.
Well, you have to go through Orlando as well, because it
Yes.
doesn't. You can't only do the online portion. You have to actually make it through the global playoffs as well.
Unless you finish number 1, right? Then you go direct into Pro League.
Yeah, you still have to go to the LAN to win some cash. But
It's Mountain Dew League, though. Let's make sure we enunciate when you say it. I want to hear it from your guys' accents. Say it in harmony. 1, 2, 3.
Mountain Dew League. That wasn't much of a chorus there. I feel like I was left alone, but
Yes,
I feel
that
like
was acapella.
I nailed it.
Very, yeah. Nonetheless, very important game here for SK. They have that shot. They do have the chance to find themselves at the LAN itself. But it's going to take a win or an overtime win to get them there, and which is just so, I don't know how to say it. Every time, every season this happens where there are teams that have been counting on something from before. But this is one of those where it's completely in SK's hands to take this map.
The problem for them is that the map is cash. I do feel Renegade is one of the best cash teams in Northern America. I also do believe that SK have showed some struggles in that map, especially since they brought in Stu 2K. So considering the map, I wouldn't be too secure in SK. And you said it before the game too. Like you didn't really favor them going into this matchup and favor them making it to the playoff, as far as I understood it. And considering that we're going to see cash now and what we saw in the first map on train for SK, I wouldn't be too sure either.
Yeah, the scary thing, it's all on them, right? Like, Rogue are going up against Dignitas. They handled the first map very easily, 16-6. I'm assuming it's going to be the same story as well going into the second map for them. So it's all on SK. They can crumble under the pressure. We saw them actually managing to bounce back here on train, but they can't necessarily allow themselves to get into that kind of a position again.
Well, one instrumental tool on the SK side that they do have is Fur. Fur has been on a tear across the last map. Do we think we can keep up the high pace? going into this next one.
He can, but Cash is not usually one of his best maps. So I wouldn't necessarily say that he's going to be just as effective.
What about this? We're going to be jumping into this map rather shortly, roughly 60 seconds, give or take 10 to 15. You know how this works. Give me a prediction. Now I asked for a guess, but I actually want a prediction here on Cash.
I want to see, and I think SK is going to win this one too. I think Fallen SK have this under control. They're going to show me that class we talked about, and it's going to be 16-14 for SK, down to the narrow.
Yeah, we're going to see all the rounds, and it's going to be SK eking it out, and they're going to make it to Dallas.
Which is not exactly where you want to be if you are SK. Now, if you are joining us, we will be switching over to some guys that talk very, very quickly, and they will be commentating the action, of course. Harry and Jason. Now, Harry, we talked a little bit about all the mishaps that Jason brings to the table. But in this moment, if there was one thing that you've always wanted to say to Jason and not have him respond, what would it be?
Geez, you're really throwing me under the bus here. Just that you're a lovely gentleman, Jason. You know, big ups to you. There you go.
But he did say that thing that you're for, or you like your head. You look like yeah. So I'll leave you guys with that. Take it away.
Well, thank you for that one, Tracy. You know, always know how to spice up the casting desk. Yeah, we're about to head into this one, and this is the real deal. You know, if you haven't watched any games this season, that's not fine. I was going to say it's fine. It's not. You should be. But this is the one that you should definitely be tuning in for and sticking around, because this decides whether or not we see a team of legends at the Pro League Finals in Dallas.
Yes, and that would be shell-shocking to not see them in those finals in Dallas. Back on the mic, and I love it. It's time. Pistol round is here, SK on the T side, and it's just going to be a standard A hit. You can see the utility on Fallen. Molotov on coldzera as well, and that will certainly flush Ustillo or Ozza out into the open. We'll see how this goes. Here they come, turning the corner, 2 players. The Molotov comes out late, though. Good frag from Stewie. There's one more in the bomb site, and he gets dropped as well. Stewie with a double entry. They haven't spotted Nifty, who hasn't made his move just yet, but JKS is trying to pin down this bomb planter at the default position, and he gets busted up right in the face, and Nifty's completely blind. He's got to fall back. 2 players coming up highway for Renegades in a desperate bid to retake this site, and they're just getting so much damage dealt to them, but still Nifty holds on. Stewie with 3 kills so far, and Fallen's going to finish it up right at the end. 1-0 for SK.
Yeah, pause called in. You imagine this is a technical?
TeamSpeak.
Technical roulette. What is it? What's the reason?
TeamSpeak.
TeamSpeak. That's your prediction. We're going to wait for the official verdict, but it's always exciting. Still gives us a chance to really build some hype up around this game. There's nothing more exciting than a technical pause, at least in terms of building a storyline or two. And let me tell you, SK, they need the win here if they want to secure their spot in the finals in Dallas. The downside to the overtime win in the previous map is they only get 2 points for that, meaning a loss here. Kind of, if you recall, I said they would have had to have played a tiebreaker game versus Rogue if Rogue 2-0 their series. If they lose on this map, that's it. That goes out the window, and Rogue's still their spot. So, the pressure grows immensely. That technical pause now all said and done. SK, they're going to be on the anti-eco here. And Renegades, they're just going to keep no investment in this round. They want to go for a very, very strong buy into round at number 4. So they've got 1 PT50 on Azza, 4 players grouped up in mid. Azza's alone in the A bomb site. He's going to throw the flash out for those USPs to go in with the peak. And let's see if that amounts to anything.
SK is taking it pretty cautiously, though, and they've got a lot of utility as well. If they do eventually want to take some map control here in mid, they can use, you can see the Molotov going out towards sandbags, but there is going to be an opportunity for the setup to work. There's the flashbang, there's the swing out. I think enough players got in towards cover. That initial kill is quite nice, and that's going to be an AK-47 salvaged. And actually, these SK players are pretty split up. coldzera has a big job to do to stop them from getting in towards vents, because the players inside that B bomb site are kind of isolated. They want to take that AK-47 away, and they just do it. Stewie's getting flanked out, but he seems to be aware of the possibility. It's all down to timing in that sense. And I think he's going to have it ignoring over towards mid as long as he doesn't turn the corner. That shot baits him forward, but he actually outplays Ozza and Ustillo. That is well done from Stewie, reading the play perfectly. He does end up going down, and some damage is done by the Renegades, but not enough. A good idea. but SK is going to win the round in the end.
Still is an expensive round for SK, and one that Renegades had only invested, what, $500 into, if I'm not mistaken? PT-50 and a flashbang, I think, was the full extent of their utility. So lots of damage done here from Renegades. You still only have the MAC-10 going forward, and, you know, maybe he invested some armor to go behind it just to try and make some money with the SMG. And this is good. I mean, you know, him and Nifty both on $4,000. That kind of now gives them the opportunity, if they'd like to break in to an early double-up setup, perhaps. They've certainly got options open to them, and this time they stack all 5 players into the B-bomb site. They're going to go rushing through. Fallen's here to keep an eye on it, and while he does miss the shots, they have the information. They know exactly what's going on. Bolts is going to reroute back around and try and get a handle on things. He's able to find JKS. Oh, and Jacob. And it's just the mop-up. Everyone dies. And double bolts falling over on the CT side.
Yeah, we're going to get another technical timeout, or technical pause, I should say, as Jacob obviously crashed, I believe that was that time, as he just stopped right in the open and with no reactions. So 3-0 for SK. Deja vu towards that first map. This is where Renegades was able to rattle off, I think, 3 straight on their CT side, but we'll see what SK is able to bring. As the Des mentioned, Renegades likely a better cash team. SK's kind of had a love-hate relationship with this map. Mostly hate. It's typically banned out for them. Either way, here we are into the gun rounds. You imagine, I believe, Nifty will have the AWP, and Renegades will have plenty of money by virtue of saving a lot of cash by not upgrading pistols in those second and third rounds. Indeed. 1 kit on you, Stillo, and pretty much full nades on the defense.
Yeah, this is a very, very strong buy, and that's as a consequence of finding so many kills in that second round, and also because they only invested into the 1 pistol. So lots of utility, but it's not going to get put to too much use. Actually, JKS able to find that. Now the trade comes through from Coldzera. Luckily enough, Jacob is there to keep things in the advantage of Renegades. SK, they've lost 2 men early on, Coldzera and Stewie. Not exactly the 2 you'd want to lose either.
Round was so close to just being pretty much just a knockout punch for SK, just trying to find a timing flash through that smoke in towards the B bomb site. If Stewie gets that kill, I really do think that round is pretty much over. That would have been a great find. Now they have to go towards the A bomb site. I'm not sure if he still has spotted anything yet. He's still jumping. Now those shots ring out. That's the boost, and Fur doesn't even look for it. Was concentrated on the jumping player. A lot of damage dealt. 50 seconds left, and SK going to try and fall back. Indeed they will, but Nifty is holding vents, and Bolts just has to go for it. Just a swing and take the fight, but actually stops right in the crosshair. An easy double kill for Nifty. That's the first defensive round on the board.
And I mean, you know, it was only 1 kill, but a very, very big kill coming through from Ustillo there up on the boost. I mean, if you think about it, kind of highway is really the most vulnerable position, you know, you can be in if you're up on that boost spot. And he's able to find that first kill onto Fur, I think it was, who was wrapping up.
Yeah, I was pretty curious to see Fur not really consider the boost as a possibility. Normally you see that first player coming up highway to clear that out and check that. Doesn't come to fruition. SK going to go back to that very same play. I think they felt like there was some weakness there they could exploit. Here comes Stewie, as he loves to do. Entry through the smoke. Immediate headshot. JKS gives up his position in vent, but he does it for a good cause. He does find a kill, but Renegades is going to be locked out, and they have no one coming vents at the moment. All 4 players going to be coming from CT spawn side, so this is going to be a very difficult retake. You add in the nade damage, 1 more Molotov, 1 more smoke on Fur, and this is going to be tough for Renegades.
Yeah, Renegades still locked out for the next few seconds by all this utility. They might just try head on through the heavens. It looks like as they throw in barrages of utility, they just go barreling on through. Stewie, 2, 3 kills into this round, and it is just Nifty, 1 HP. He's locked out, and Stewie's going to keep hunting. In through CT he goes. Nifty's able to elude them for now, but the question is how much longer can he survive? A loss here is pretty rough for Renegades. They're going to get reset, and also now Fallen picks up Nifty, so he's not even going to hold on to the AWP. That is a very, very good round from SK.
Yeah, they certainly saw the weakness, and they saw the possibility in that first gun round they had when Stewie tries to enter with the MAC-10. You can see the difference. Goes through the smoke with an AK-47, catches them in a double checkers setup, able to get the angle before the defense can respond. A big lead in a critical round to win. Though thankfully, because Renegades survived with 3 players on their round win, they're not completely broken. It's not, you know, lights out. I think they're going to buy in the next round. Good frag from Jacob, but interesting that SK has no one here to retrade or cover that weapon. There does eventually find it. The follow-up as well. Nifty picks up the AK and disappears up highway. So a little bit of danger now on the Renegade side.
SK going to keep creeping forward over in mid. Throw that Molotov in towards the sandbags. Does force anyone out from there. There is no one there for Renegades, but it's a precaution. I mean, they've already lost Fur early on. They might have traded out Jacob, the man who found the kill, but that AK still being in play over on the Renegade side does make things a little bit scary for SK. Adds that much more threat into this round. Looks like they're going to start to rotate the bomb over here towards A. Stewie is in Squeaky. Nifty currently over here in quad along with Ustillo. That one rifle they have really has to try and put in some work. Nifty has to look to lead by example.
One Molotov, right? Just ruins everything. Or even the nade from Stewie. Although he's in door, that would be hard to put a nade there. Actually, neither pieces of those utility are going to be put out towards quad. One player swings out, Ustillo gets a good kill. There's still one more player that's Nifty with the AK, and actually a good pounce. Now they have a crossfire set up, but not enough damage with that USP. We'll see JKS trying to find the timing. He's going to jump in, he gets the initial dink, and he gets the kill. Renegades turn that on its head. Fallen getting caught as he plants the bomb, and he could do absolutely nothing. Great positioning, great bait and switch towards quad for Renegades. That one AK-47 from middle.
I really love that. You kind of see the idea behind it, right? You had Ustillo there with the pistol, and when the Molotov doesn't come in and flush them out, Ustillo peeks out wide, takes that first fight, and they think that's the one guy over towards quad dealt with. And it kind of allowed Nifty to peek out and get that first kill that he finds with the AK, and then just the crossfires coming through for Renegades. A very good round. JKS, he's going to go through that smoke. That's a pretty ballsy play to make, but he hasn't been spotted doing it. Bolt's on the other side. Not aggressing yet. This is a pretty awkward angle to hold. The rest of SK are over in main. Stewie. Jeez. Just going to go ahead and wreck you. Still went through Squeaky. He had no way of knowing what was going on there. It's aggression from Renegades. Meanwhile, over here towards B. Bolts does lie in wait. They can find this. They found their equalizer. They've gained some ground back. And it is going to be worth it, but no, a nice shot from Bolts. He's dropped out Jacob, maybe even a little bit more. JKS going to go down. Bolts with 2. And suddenly SK are back into this round. Nifty is able to answer back as best he can, and now it all falls on Oaza in mid, who just gets toppled at the hands of Cold Zera. Nifty 1v4. He's locked out of this round.
I know SK doesn't have a lot of money, but they need to start positioning to take everything away from Renegades. They need to take it all. They really have to find this op. Nifty doesn't want to give away where exactly he is across the map, but it's a dangerous game as he tries to sneak out towards mid, and it's going to pay off at least with that initial player. It's almost like he's playing like Assassin's Creed or something. Unfortunate for him, if he had a kid, I think he might actually go for this, and he might choose to, actually. He gets the kill, he's going to stay in vents, but the bomb might force him away at the end. That, as you like to say, is the dinner bell, and Fallen thought he was actually going to go for the defuse, so Nifty, no, this is a great shot. These are great kills to come out. 4 frags for him, and that's just too much. Now they desperately need to take the off, but he's going to get the 5th. An ace in a losing round, but more importantly, has the AWP on the board. SK Gaming lose everything. That buy that they're going to have is going to be weak, and I think Renegades, if they're smart, they buy up here. Behind that op, they can get a rifle and a full buy on one other player, and it'll be pretty beat up on the other 3, but they have to have known. Going into that round, the CZ on Bolts should be the indication that the economy is nowhere near good for SK.
I'm just smiling like an idiot. That was just so stylish and nifty. Oh, that's a nice shot on a Fallen as well. He just keeps them coming, but this time he does get traded out by Bolts. So we're into a 4-on-4, and there's pistols over here towards the A-bomb site for Renegades. Now, they've had a very good relationship with these pistols. They've looked so good with them. Can they find more success? SK will be walking into a stack, but already JKS falls. Ustilo doesn't stand the test of time. Jacob gets dealt with, and that's a mop-up. SK are in with their 6th round. They keep 4 players alive as well. They're starting to build up some of that money back from the damage that Nifty did. And now it's a pretty awkward spot. Renegades not really in a position to buy. Makes you wonder why they didn't go for the Force in that previous round, being on the double eco anyway.
You can understand. I mean, they're trying to play a little bit conservative. I mean, that saving is obviously the smart decision in terms of like pure Counter-Strike. You know, maybe they just didn't. I mean, obviously the benefit for us is that we get to see the money, right? It's not that easy to keep track of it, and obviously you never know how much against the ropes you have players unless it's, you know, a very standard kind of economy trading game. SK set up far back. I think they still don't realize exactly what they're going against. They don't know that it's just pistols. Much like Renegades not able to see the economy and not able to necessarily have the perfect read at all times. This could actually be a pretty tough defense. If JKS is able to get 1 kill, all kills matter for Renegades in this round as well. There's the jump out. There's the frag on a JKS. Pop flash in towards main. Nifty cannot complete that with the USP. Does get the dink onto Bolts, who's going to go passive. Jacob in the site gets 2. Doubles up with a P250. If he can hold on a little bit longer, there's a flank coming in, but it's a long route. And this might just be too much. Too long. No, Jacob turns. Immediate dink and headshot, and he's holding on so well. He's got armor, and he's got a chance. Now his teammate is coming in. 1 more frag, and Jacob could just do it. Ustilo in a position where he could actually go for this, could catch 1 player off. That's Bolts, that's low HP, and he's going to go down. Ustilo in a 1 versus 1, and Fallen's got it all to do. Every advantage, and he's going to use the cover of the flames to plant the bomb. Jacob has provided this opportunity. Ustilo going to try and close it. Shoulder peeking, trying to get an idea of where Fallen is. That shot reveals him, now out in the corner. Gets damaged up, but can't find it. That is a hard battle to win, but Jacob, what a performance.
Just, oh my goodness, there's been so many good plays so far. What a 3K from Jacob there. Yeah, it makes you wonder. What could have been had he found that 4th kill? It would have been a very, very different round. It's undoubtable. But still, he went above and beyond. Didn't even use the pistol that everyone kind of prolifically talks about when it comes to pistols being OP. It was the P250 that was his tried and trusted method of dismantling SK in that round. Now Nifty over here towards B along with Jacob. Renegades, it feels like they've been so close in so many of these rounds, but SK have been the ones just inching it away from them. Nifty looking like he wants to keep creeping forward. That's going to get boosted up into mid in the meantime. And he has got a friend joining him. That's going to be Cold Zera. What a friend to have, by the way, to have joining you up there on the boost. Once smoke goes out over here towards the A-bomb site, they have to clear out main. They weren't watching it early on, so Fallen is very dubious that someone might be here, but he's going to start to aggress on in. Nifty opens up with the frag onto Bolts, and now the rest of SK forced to try and make a play out towards the A-bomb site. There's Cold Zera with a frag on a Jacob. Stewie opens up onto Azza, and now Ustilo. Suddenly, he's left 1v4 effectively inside this site. He has got JKS down on highway to act as a teammate. But Ustilo's going to crumble under the pressure. JKS doesn't last much longer, and it is just Nifty left. 1v3, and Cold Zera is hunting him down.
It's so tough to win those kind of drawn-out battles against SK. Nifty still continues to hit some nice shots with the AWP, but the SK trading is very well. They're doing a good job of applying a lot of pressure onto that A bomb site, but keeping their distance and waiting for the peaks, waiting for the reaction from Renegades, who are just barely trying to hold on to it, and it's just not panning out for them. They need to get much more in your face when SK starts using that utility. Nifty's going to be able to save the op, but again, it's just not going to be anything to buy around it if you're the Renegades team. SK, between Train and this map, they are putting together very, very good offensive halves.
Yeah, they really are. And then you look over at Renegades, one man who has been consistent in his strong performance, at least, is Nifty, who is hitting his shots right now. Normally, that's kind of the key to success for Renegades, it feels like, but he doesn't have that supporting cast around him right now that we're so used to seeing, and they need to start stepping up now more than ever. He's going to go aggressive, and how on earth does he win that fight? Bolts is going to go ahead and go down. SK, they've lost a man. They know that there's a few players over there towards that B bomb site. They try to hedge their bets into A, and you still is able to open up. He's applied the pressure. They're going to go walking into Azza. The flash is there, and he's blind, but he's able to pick up one, still fighting for his life. Now he's got JKS to support. And these flashbangs are just brutal. coldzera trying to stay alive. JKS is able to finally find that frag, and now coldzera 1v3. JKS, big double kill at the end to lock in that round for Renegades. Key utility usage as well. Those flashbangs win Renegades that round.
I feel like there had to be at least one team flash in there. I think it was when Stewie was about to turn the corner into the bomb site that really wrecked him. So some miscommunication from SK on some of those timings. That's 2 rounds now they've lost to pistols, though. Mostly pistols. Nifty did get the opening kill with the AWP that round. Think of the half it could be for SK if they hadn't dropped those. Not a good time to be doing that. Oh, the run boost, it's got to get broken up. And now that there's 2 in the bomb site, the idea is there. Yustilo cannot recover in time. And Stewie's got to wrap onto the site. Good headshot with the deagle. Azza still lives. He knows there's one more at highway, but the defense has crumbled. It's all dead, and Stewie's got to get into some cover. Nifty doesn't want to peek completely. Stewie at forklift, going to be forced out by the Molotov right into the arms of that AWP, trying to bait out the shot, but it's not going to work. Furthest flank has got to come in. Fallen's got no HP in an off angle. This is going to be so tough for SK to win, but there's a possibility. The Deagle slowly lurking, slowly encroaching. All the attention is given up. He misses the initial shot. No, he's not. Not able to recover, but Fallen's still alive. And JKS with 7 health. Fallen doesn't know it, but the op, his trusty op, closes the round out, and these are going down to the wire. A 9th for SK as they respond.
What a fantastic round from Fallen. Just from beginning to end, he looked in control, despite being tagged down low, and even switching out of the AWP in the 1v1, which, you know, a lot of people would have questioned, but not Fallen. As you said, his tried and trusted friend in all of these fights. Fallen now peeking over here towards the B-bomb site. Jacob and JKF there. Nifty this time switched up. They've already lost Yustilo, rather, over here in middle. They're going to go to burn out Jacob as well. He's able to get one, but he perishes in the fire and flames. And now suddenly JKS is here alone inside of BSK. They found their second wind here on Cash. They've been so fast on this T side at grabbing control and winning these fights. And now it is just Azza and Nifty left to try and repel them in this round at least. They've got control of B, the bombs here, and Fallen is still just waiting around over in mid and main. About to catch this Nifty falling back into Squeaky, perhaps. They're going to hear him running around. They know that there's a man there. As Renegades look to try and save.
They're going to do their best. They need both of these weapons. I think they'll be fine. Although Fallen is coming behind Nifty, and Stewie's waiting at door, so if he gives up that position, actually doesn't matter. He's looking the wrong direction, and Fallen with the free kill. It's Azza who will be able to save the M4. This is a really dire situation now for Renegades. Down 3-10, and again without any money whatsoever. A couple really, really rough resets have ruined everything for them. Remember, this is 2 rounds that Renegades have won where they've basically started out with pistols. So they've only actually won a single gun round on defense.
Question for Renegades is, what can you really do? SK, they've looked just so damn good. There is no denying it. You know, all of their T-side halves right now have been almost flawless, it feels like. I mean, let's not forget, it was an 11-4 half over on Train with SK on that T side, and then they did manage to drop, 11 rounds in a row when they moved on to the CT sides. Maybe not all hope is lost just yet, but this has looked surprisingly convincing from SK, considering their relationship with this map. Nifty going to boost up as they're relying on him to try and make a big hero play. The Molotov bounces off of him, and there's players to keep an eye on the boost. Stewie instantly trades, and 4-on-4 Renegades. They've already lost that one rifle. Thankfully, it was shot back to them, and Nifty's been able to escape with it.
It's gone back towards the A bomb site, and there's still one in mid. SK, all the advantages to get up towards 11. Mid control is there, and Bolt Stills controls the extremity of the map towards the B bomb site in Sunroom, and it looks like that's where SK is going to reposition themselves. JKS just doesn't have the information, and Renegades kind of have to gamble stack with that M4. Nifty shouldn't even go anywhere near this bomb site. Save the rifle. You're still going to need it. You don't have the full losing bonus, so some of these buys are going to be a little bit sketchy, and he's really going to want that one for some extra utility for the kit. For the last round in this half, as SK looking to match their total of the train offensive side with 11.
I mean, Renegades, they're waiting around. They would love to find anything here on the exits. They would love to find, even if it's just one AK to get retrieved, just to have that much extra to fight with into the last round of the half. And it feels a bit dire. Jacob's going to go peeking in. Ooh, nice shot, but nice shots don't win games. Well, they do. That's a lot. You kind of need a lot of them.
They do at the right moment.
Yeah.
I think what you're trying to say is it's too little to really have an impact on the overall outcome of this game. Plenty of money for the SK side to rebuy whatever they would have lost. And plenty to spare afterwards as well. Renegades is going to have to play this last round without an AWP. They've kind of actually struggled to get that weapon really involved on this side. I mean, the couple times they've had it, it's been forced into saving scenarios. And despite some good rounds of it, Nifty hasn't really been able to have the level of impact to get them round wins, which isn't necessarily his fault. Just the reality of the situation. SK has pretty much had an open map wherever they've gone.
Yeah, that's kind of been the sad thing, is it feels like for Renegades right now that they're very reliant on Nifty. It almost kind of feels like he's really the only one who you can expect to step up to hold these sites at the minute. And it just feels like SK just probing for where the AWP is and isn't, and then they just kind of execute in on the back of that. But this is it. Last round of the half. 4 rifles and AWP up for Fallen. Renegades, they've got rifles across the board. A little bit limited in terms of the utility, but Jacob and Nifty do manage to kind of compensate for that just a little bit. Nifty with the kit as well. Alrighty, SK going to go and throw out some utility in towards the A-bomb site. They're stacked up in main. Players as well lining up smokes for the cross. And they're going to go down. It's just a full-on A execute, looking to try and catch Renegades off guard on the back of the pause with a blistering change of pace. And certainly caught you still unaware. Azza's going to fall shortly after as well. And Renegades, they're already locked out of this A-bomb site. 3 versus 4 in the retake. And Renegades, it was an 11-4 half for them on train this time around. They might not even manage that. Cold Zero is able to go ahead and get one more. It all falls to JKS. And a 1v3 from Truck. This would be unreal. He's got a clutch. Versus 3 terrifying names. Stewie, Bolts, and Fallen still up for SK. That nade does find good damage on a Bolts, but damage isn't everything. Bolts is going to be able to find the frag. And SK, 12-3 half. They do one better than they did on train. And now the pistol round is their route to success. And securing their spot at the Pro League Finals in Dallas.
Yeah, they've had a very dominant offensive evening, haven't they? I think it's been, what, 24 rounds total on both of their offensive sides between Train and Cash, if you count the overtime as well. So that's pretty disgusting, all things considered. This Renegades defense has come in pretty sloppy, but we did see a nice comeback on Train. We'll see if they can do it again on Cash. It would be a desperate scenario, and you obviously have Luminosity fans and Rogue fans hoping that's exactly what happens. Long shot, though, as we get started here. And we'll see. Pistaron would pretty much seal it. NRG piling on with a big lead in their other match against Luminosity, so I think that pretty much eliminates Luminosity. Ooh, Stewie with the great headshot. That starts things out. Anything more he can build. coldzera in the B bomb site, and they've pretty much shut this down. Stewie's out of bullets, but he's buying time during the reload, and he gets the follow-up headshot. A triple kill, but it's a 4-1 setup for the bomb plant. So Renegades trying to pull a fast one on SK, and Jacob's going to be caught in the open. He's got to find all 4 players. His team did not do enough to give him a good time. He needs to get this kill, and he does just that, but still, HP is dwindling, and now they've got SK inside the bomb site, sticking the defuse with the no kit, but Stewie ends it with 4 frags. A beautiful round from Stewie, who's really had a solid game here for Cash. The newest pickup, 22-7, helping to propel SK into the playoffs.
Yeah, they only need 3 more rounds to do it as well. A win here versus Renegades mean that SK, they make it through to the playoffs. This is a very, very important game, and what a time for SK to show up in a fashion such as this. Now, Renegades, they've gone for the risky bite. They've got the 1 AK on you still, everyone else with pistols. Jacob threw that over. Aggression into main, as is able to go to find 1. They lose both the rifle player and a couple of armored players in the push, and it is just a 3-on-3. 2 MP9s up for SK. And they've been repelled from this A bomb site, now lacking utility. They've got 2 flashbangs to try and facilitate a play. Nifty, who doesn't have armor, is the man with the AK. And this is going to be a near-on impossible round that Renegades have to try and make their way back into.
Their next kill has to be very clean. It has to be pretty much immediate. And the tough part is coldzera's in a spot where it's not easy to flush him out, and it's very easy for him to stay safe. And with the low HP, it's not an easy fight to win if you want to turn the corner and kind of eliminate him from this position. So he'll be able to have the information, and he'll be able to call people over before he really needs to commit to any fight. It's Nifty in mid with the AK-47, who wants that duel with Stewie, or thinks he wants it. Might just find it. Stewie's going to back off, but actually backs off up highway. So again, it's still coldzera all alone. Hasn't heard or seen anything. Hasn't really peeked for the information. And Renegade's just going to start walking in. But when they turn this corner, I think that's when they start giving up footsteps. There's the flashbang. There's the intel. coldzera finds the timing. Notices 1 player able to get a headshot. That's the bomb down now. He just needs to live, but he's going to build upon it. And Stewie comes in at the right moment for the close. 14-3. Renegades just need to keep force buying.
And this is such a grim situation to be in. They can afford 3 rifles here as a result of that risky buy in the previous round. We saw them go on an 11-round consecutive run over on Train. They would have to do all that and more here to even overtake SK. That's without winning the map in regulation. Nifty aggression over in mid, waiting for the flash to come through, but it misses its mark, and that's going to allow Fallen to pick him up, no problem. They've lost 2 of the 3 rifles in these early engagements, and they're not in positions where they can be easily retrieved either. They are going to be able to boost up one of these players. It looks like Jacob going to go up to go ahead and try and retrieve this AK, but he has players to fight with first before he's able to get it. Does win the first onto Bolts. That's a nice shot. He's been pretty keen with the old 1 taps on the Deagle. But he's going to lose his teammate in the former you still in. Now they boost the man up into vents. Jacob in with a 2nd. Oh, maybe a 3rd. Okay, coldzera's fallen as well. And Jacob with 10 HP. You get the feeling that maybe something's possible, but it's the wraparound from Fur and from Stewie. Both players in the back. He's not ready for this. And okay, 1 shot rallies past. Oh, just manages to get away into the vents. You don't have to keep pushing this. SK. He's going to get running back, and oh, he tries to fake it, trying to make out that he's crossed into the site. This time he does do it for real. He's going to go ahead and go for the open plant. Jeez. Bit ballsy, I think, and SK going to go 15-3 up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a desperate situation. He's obviously trying to give himself every chance possible to win that game, and it's just not going to happen for him. Big advantages now for SK, obviously, and again, just buying up the Deagles, the CZ for Renegades. Unable to prevent SK from making it to Dallas. A lot of teams would have loved to have seen that. SK will have the opportunity. Remember as well, I think they have 2 current Intel Grand Slam victories. And I think they only have 3 games to get 2 more, 3 or 4 games to get 2 more to win that $1 million. So it's actually pretty critical in the grand scheme of multiple different things that SK is able to qualify for this. And they've had to recover so well throughout the season. As we mentioned a number of times, they've had 3 forfeits. They had 2 map losses to NRG when they were playing with 130 ping. So they've had a lot of obstacles to overcome.